The A-Team Challenge, a major project of the Foundation for Lee County Public Schools, is produced in partnership with the School District of Lee County, Waterman Broadcasting, and NBC2. This program features high school students in both public and private schools from 6 Southwest Florida counties as they compete in this exciting academic challenge. Lee County High School student interns help produce the show under the direction of the Lee County Schools Communication and Production Department. The A-Team Challenge is brought to you by the Suncoast Credit Union Foundation and a contributing sponsorship by Hodges University.
Welcome to the A-Team Challenge. I'm meteorologist Rob Duns, filling in for Chief Meteorologist Robert Van Winkle. The A-Team Challenge now in its 27th year with the Foundation for Lee County Public Schools, NBC2, and of course the Lee County School District. You can watch our games on Comcast Channel 99 and of course on YouTube. You can go to youtube.com/LeeSchoolsTV or just search for Lee County Public School. Students, questions today will be in science, math, arts and humanities, language arts, social studies, and of course some general knowledge questions as well. Rules for today's game will include 3 rounds. Points will go down as 5, 10, 20 points each. There is no penalty for a wrong answer. The other team can't steal your point, and you'll answer individually until the final exam when you'll work as a group with your alternates as well. Today's game is between the students of Gulf Coast High School on my right and Cypress Lake High School on my left. And with that, let's get started for the first round of questions. Students, get your buzzers ready. Its 100th anniversary was celebrated in 2015 by a symposium at the Continental Divide Research Learning Center. Identify this Colorado National Park. Chandler, Cypress Lake. Or I'm sorry, Chad, Gulf Coast.
Mark.
Mark, why is your number bugging? Mark, go ahead and answer.
Rocky Mountain.
Say it again.
Rocky Mountain.
Correct. Question number 2. In music, the sound of an organ comes through what metal pieces of the organ? Andrew D. Daniel.
Pipes.
Correct. Question number 3. What flap of tissue closes when you swallow food? Gulf Coast.
Epiglottis.
Correct. All right, number 4. Give the word starting with H for the flowering plant that was long used to dye women's hair red. Gulf Coast.
Hyacinth.
Incorrect. Cypress Lake.
Hydrangea.
Incorrect. The correct answer is henna, Henna. Next question. Give the specific term for the warm, dry winds often felt on the east side of the Rocky Mountains. Gulf Coast.
Chinook.
Correct. Next question. In part 1 of this play, its main character meets 4 tempters and reflects on his coming martyrdom, which comes in part 2 at the hands of 4 knights, but not before an interlude in which Thomas A. Becket talks about Christmas as a day of both mourning and rejoicing. Name this play by T.S. Eliot, set in Canterbury in the Middle Ages. Any guesses? The answer is Murder in the Cathedral. Question number 7, we're going to give you 10 seconds to answer this one. It's a math question. You go to a warehouse store and see a 5-gallon water jug for $5.60. How much per cup of water does the 5-gallon jug cost? Gulf Coast.
35 cents.
Incorrect, sorry. And of course, with math questions for viewers at home, our students have calculators, a piece of paper, and a pencil as well. I'm sorry, out of time. The correct answer would be 7 cents. All right, so moving on. Number 8. Killed in a motorcycle accident in his native England, he suffered from PTSD after being tortured by the Ottomans. He fought for most of World War I. This author of 7 Pillars of Wisdom expected Arab independence after the war, but was brutally disillusioned when Britain and France divided up much of the Arab world between themselves. Name this military man, played by Peter O'Toole in a classic film. Cypress Lake.
Lawrence of Arabia.
Is that correct? Correct. Thomas Edward Lawrence. Number 9. The word exacerbate means to make something. Gulf Coast.
EXACERBATE.
Very good. Next question. The angle at which light refracts when it travels from one surface to another can be found by the law named for what? Gulf Coast.
Einstein.
Incorrect. I'll finish the question. The angle at which light refracts when it travels from one surface to another can be found by the law named for what Dutch physicist that relates the indexes of refraction of the substances involved with the signs of the angles involved? Correct answer would be Snell's law. All right, moving on to question number 11 in our first round of play. The frequency it produces depends on its length and the density. Gulf Coast.
Tuning fork.
Very good. Next question. In the U.S. Constitution, trial by jury is allowed for any civil dispute where more than what amount of money is involved? Cypress Lake.
$20.
Very good. Next question, number 13. Identify the word that came to English from German for a lively dance in 3/4 time. Gulf Coast.
Waltz.
Very good. Number 14, and this will be a math question, so we'll allot you 10 seconds to answer. A semicircle is divided into 3 sectors whose central angles are 4x plus 7 degree sign. And you can see the problem there on your screen. Gulf Coast.
21.
Very good. Number 15. The stories Speak to the Rain, The Raven Steals the Light, The Spirit Quest, The War Canoe, Legends of the Great Chiefs, and Totem Pole all feature main characters who belong to what ethnic group? Gulf Coast.
Native Americans.
Very good. All right, so question 16. In the spring of 1961, what specific group of people traveled by bus through the Deep South to protest the Jim Crow laws against segregated buses? Gulf Coast.
African Americans.
Incorrect. Cypress Lake.
Freedom Riders.
Very good. Number 17, and we're going to allot you 10 seconds to answer. Draw a straight chain of 4 carbon atoms and then add on OH group to the second carbon atom from the left. Give the organic name for this compound. Gulf Coast.
Carbon hydroxide.
I'm afraid not, no. And I'm afraid we're out of time. The correct answer is 2-butanol. All right, and that brings us to the end of round 1. Before we go, though, we're going to introduce you to the players at Gulf Coast High School. Player number 1 would be Chad Boole. He's a 12th grader, a senior in high school, plans on attending UCF and hopes to pursue a career in sports management. Player number 2, Anthony Amadeo, and I apologize if I mispronounce any names, of course. Anthony is a junior. He's currently undecided on his college and undecided on his major as well. Player number 3 would be Sebastian Hoyt. Sebastian is a 12th grader, a senior, plans to hopefully attend a Duke, is already accepted, congratulations, and plans to pursue a degree in environmental engineering. And finally, player number 4 is Mark Torres, a senior, 12th grader, hopes to attend at Yale, has already been accepted, congratulations, and plans to pursue a degree in cognitive science. That brings us to the end of round 1 of play. We'll be right back with more A-Team Challenge in just a few moments.
2 pennies by themselves don't add up to much. But when you're a Suncoast member, every time you swipe your Suncoast credit or debit card, Suncoast donates 2 cents to help children's programs where you live. That means Suncoast members help make their community a better place every day just by buying things with their cards. And when we add all those pennies from all those Suncoast card swipes together, we can give millions of dollars to our children's future. Visit suncoastcreditunion.com and learn how much Suncoast could save you.
Hi, my name is Marshall Bauer, and I'm proud to say I'm the Executive Director of the Foundation for Lee County Public Schools. The Foundation has as its mission engaging the business community and the community at large with our students and teachers in the public school system. Through our many initiatives and programs, we enhance and enrich what is already going on in our public school system. The goal in mind is the same goal that the school district has, to make Lee County Public Schools a world-class school system. It is important that the community understand that our students will be competing in a global market, and in order for them to succeed, they need the backing of the entire community. So please reach out to a student, to a teacher, and help the foundation succeed in its mission. Thank you.
Welcome back to the 18 Challenge. As we begin round 2, we have a score update. The students at Cypress Lake High School begin round 2 with 15 points, and the students at Gulf Coast High School begin round 2 with 40 points. Oh, I'm sorry, 20 points, I apologize. All right, let's get, before we get back to round 2 of questioning, we'll begin by introducing the students from Cypress Lake High School. Player number 1 would be Daniel Whitehouse. He's a 10th grader, hopes to attend New College, and plans to pursue a degree in education. Player number 2 is Chandler, and I apologize again if I mispronounce any last names, Lahomdieu. He is a 10th grader, plans to attend Columbia University, and plans to pursue a degree in history. Player number 3 is Andrew Geyer. 12th grader, a senior, plans to attend Georgia Tech or UCF and would like to study industrial systems and engineering. And finally, last but not least, player number 4, Andrew Diane Shapiro, and again, I apologize if I mispronounce the name. You're a junior and plans to attend the University of Florida and major in computer science. Just a reminder for our players, the next round of questioning, points are worth 10 points each. We'll begin with our first question. Its title character is a horse who nearly dies from a blood infection, but is saved by the boy raising her, who catches pneumonia and almost dies himself in the process. Name this American children's novel. The correct answer would be My Friend Flicka. Next question. Co-created for many years by Johnny Hart and Brant Parker and set in the Middle Ages, it recently celebrated its 50th anniversary with characters like Spook, who always stays in jail, the Chief Knight named Rodney, and the world's shortest king. Name this comic strip whose title character wants to be a great magician like Merlin. The correct answer would be The Wizard of Id. Next question. In 1999, what U.S. senator from Delaware sponsored a bill, Cypress Lake?
Joe Biden.
Incorrect, I'm sorry. The rest of the question. In 1999, what U.S. senator from Delaware sponsored a bill creating his namesake retirement account that can grow tax-free if taxes are paid on the money before it enters the account? The correct answer in this case would be William Roth Jr. Next question. Give the official term for the ticket you get from a policeman for speeding or double parking. Gulf Coast.
Citation.
Very good. The correct answer is citation. 10 points. In biology, RNA uses uracil as a base, while DNA uses Gulf Coast.
Thymine.
Very good. The correct answer, thymine. 10 points to Gulf Coast. 2015 saw the first January with no rainfall in its entire 165-year history. Name this California city that has a generally Gulf Coast.
San Francisco.
Very good. The correct answer, San Francisco. 10 points to Gulf Coast High School. The structure on the left side of this painting is known as Willie Lott's Cottage. Its frame includes the cast of the gold medal it was awarded by King Charles X of France. Name this John Constable painting whose title object is a rickety horse-drawn cart seen in the center traveling through a shallow part of a river. The correct answer would be the hay wain. Next question for 10 points. In 1990, what small country was invaded by Iraq? Gulf Coast.
Kuwait.
Very good. The correct answer is Kuwait, who stayed there until the U.S. forced it to leave in 1990. Answer is Kuwait. Number 26, question number 26, we're going to allot you 10 seconds for this one. In a grocery store, you buy $100 worth of stuff. $70 is food and has no sales tax. 2/3 of the rest has 4.5% sales tax, and the remainder has a 6.5% sales tax. How much do you pay the 4.5% sales tax on? Cypress Lake.
$20.
Very good. $20 is the correct answer. 10 points to Cypress Lake High School. In mythology, the last labor of Hercules was the capture of what three-headed dog? Gulf Coast.
Cerberus.
Very good. Cerberus is the correct answer. 10 points to Gulf Coast High School. Its period of 75 years means it won't be seen again on Earth. Gulf Coast.
Halley's Comet.
Very good. Halley's Comet is the correct answer. We're identifying the periodical celestial object named for a British astronomer. Very good. One Rudyard Kipling story in The Jungle Book is about what python who, in the Disney movie, is an enemy of Cypress Lake?
Ka.
Very good. The answer is Ka. 10 points to Cypress Lake. Which mountain range is divided by Missouri, Arkansas, and Oklahoma? Gulf Coast.
The Ozarks.
Very good. Ozark Mountains. Question number 31. Name the Dutch painter of the anatomy lesson of Dr. Tulip. I believe Gulf Coast raised in first, correct? Yes. Gulf Coast.
Rembrandt.
Correct, Rembrandt. 10 points to Gulf Coast High School. Its Antoine Wall marked the northernmost boundary of the Roman Empire. Name this country that is now part of the United Kingdom and is just north of England. Gulf Coast.
Scotland.
Very good. The answer is Scotland. 10 points to Gulf Coast. Next question. Used only with ideal or nearly ideal solutions, what chemical law says that the partial vapor pressure of a component within a solution is the product of that component's vapor pressure and mole fraction within that solution? Gulf Coast.
Charles Law.
I'm afraid not, no. Correct answer is Raoult's Law. Next question. By 1854, what was left of America's Indian Territory was all in what is now this plain state? Gulf Coast.
Oklahoma.
Very good. The answer is Oklahoma. 10 points to Gulf Coast High School. Formulated by its namesake, English economist, it represents a choice between two. Gulf Coast?
Keynes.
No, I'm afraid not. The rest of the question is formulated by its namesake English economist. It represents a choice between two economic conditions. What curve has been used to tell governments that it cannot have both low inflation and high unemployment? Cypress Lake.
Adam Smith.
I'm afraid not, no. The correct answer is Phillips curve. This brings us to the conclusion of the second round of play here on the A-Team. We'll be right back with more questions. Stay tuned.
Our schools are faced with increasing budgetary challenges. Now, there's an easy way for all of us to support education. By purchasing a License for Learning plate and renewing it each year, $20 are contributed to our schools to help our children. Support the License for Learning campaign. If you've got a car, get involved. For more information, call the Foundation for Lee County Public Schools, 239-337-0433. Get involved.
The A-Team Challenge, a major project of the Foundation for Lee County Public Schools, is provided in partnership with the School District of Lee County and Waterman Broadcasting.
And welcome back to the A-Team Challenge. We're beginning round 3 of play here today. The next category is worth 20 points for each correct answer. Of course, we're playing between Gulf Coast High School on my right and Cypress Lake High School on my left. Our next question, students. College students with this major may take classes like structural design and cities and suburbs in American history. Gulf Coast.
Architecture.
Correct, architecture. 20 points to Gulf Coast High School. Next question is a math question. On a 780-mile driving excursion, John spends 4 hours in mild traffic, 5 hours in the country where he can drive 15 miles per hour faster than in mild traffic, and 3 hours in heavy traffic where he must drive 5 miles per hour slower than in mild traffic. What is John's driving speed in mild traffic? Gulf Coast.
60.
Correct. 60 miles per hour is the correct answer. 20 points to Gulf Coast High School. Next question. What federal department designed to protect workers is responsible? Gulf Coast.
Labor.
Correct. The Department of Labor, responsible for ensuring that a minimum wage is paid to all workers. Next question. In the play Long Day's Journey into Night, the actor James Tyrone is a borderline alcoholic. His son Jamie has crossed the line into alcoholism, while his wife Mary is addicted to morphine. The play was written by what American? Gulf Coast.
O'Neill.
Very good. Eugene O'Neill, who also wrote Strange Interlude and Morning Becomes Electra. Next question. When playing an E-flat scale on a piano over an entire octave, how many different black keys do you use? Cypress Lake.
3.
I'm sorry, no. Gulf Coast, Stab? Gulf Coast.
2.
No, I'm afraid not. The correct answer would be 4. Next question. Called prairie in the United States, it is too cool for a desert but too dry for a forest. Gulf Coast.
Steppe.
Very good. Steppe is the correct answer. It's too dry for a forest. It's in Mongolia and Kazakhstan are countries where you can see this type of environment, steppe environment. Next question. You can make a simple psychrometer using 2 thermometers. Just tie a wet shoelace tightly around the bulb of one thermometer and whirl them both in the air for about 15 seconds. What parameter that measures the amount of water in the air is measured with a psychrometer? Cypress Lake.
Humidity.
Very good. The answer is humidity. 20 points to Cypress Lake. Next question. William Butler Yeats, Ezra Pound, Walt Whitman, William Wordsworth, and the late Rod McEwen all specialized in Gulf Coast.
Transcendentalist.
No, I'm afraid not. The rest of the question, though, Rod McEwen all specialized in what literary genre? Who's Cypress Lake?
Poetry.
Very good. Poems or poetry? 20 points to Cypress Lake. Next question. What Central American country serves as the western border of El Salvador? Gulf Coast.
Guatemala.
Very good. Guatemala, 20 points to Gulf Coast High School. It is typically fixed by either adding or coordinating conjunction and a punctuation mark, or breaking a sentence where Gulf Coast.
Run-on sentence.
No, I'm afraid not. The rest of the question, or breaking a sentence where it appears into 2 separate sentences. Cypress Lake.
Semicolon.
No, I'm afraid not. The answer we're looking for is comma splice with this particular. It's a 2-word term for grammatical error that tries to connect 2 independent clauses with the wrong punctuation mark. Next question. They have 4 eukaryotic cells, and many are made of only 1 cell. Its members include several colors of algae, the slime molds, the water molds. Cypress Lake.
Protista.
Very good, Protista. Name this kingdom of organisms loosely defined as everything that's not a plant, animal, or fungus. Very good. Next question. It is described by Opera Colorado as, quote, handsome Tamino is coerced into killing the high priest, Sarasado, while rescuing Pamina, the beautiful daughter of the Queen of the Night. Name this Mozart opera. The answer we're looking for is the Magic Flute. Next question. It began after a trader named John Oldham was killed by Indians in what is now Connecticut. Its major and final battle came at Mystic, when British troops set an Indian village on fire. Cypress Lake.
French and Indian War.
No, I'm afraid not. The rest of the question, Gulf Coast.
Pontiac's War.
Will we accept the answer? I believe it's a punctuation.
Pontiac's War.
What we're looking for is to identify this conflict of the 1630s between Puritans and the tribe of the Connecticut Indians, for which conflict is named the Pequot War is what we're looking for there. Good try, though. That brings us to the end of round 3. We'll be right back with our final exam, and students, your category in the final exam this round will be for social studies. We'll be right back.
This one's packed with hope. This one's packed with big dreams. This one's packed with inspiration. It may look like a simple brown bag lunch, but it's really a big way to make a difference. That's because when you become a Take Stock in Children mentor, it takes just 1 hour a week to make an impact that can't be measured. Change a life over lunch. Become a mentor today.
Take Stock in Children is a major program of the Foundation for Lee County Public Schools. For more information on how you can become a mentor, call 239-337-0433 or email info@leeschoolfoundation.org.
Two pennies by themselves don't add up to much. But when you're a Suncoast member, every time you swipe your Suncoast credit or debit card, Suncoast donates 2 cents to help children's programs where you live. That means Suncoast members help make their community a better place every day just by buying things with their cards. And when we add all those pennies from all those Suncoast card swipes together, we can give millions of dollars to our children's future. Visit suncoastcreditunion.com and learn how much Suncoast could save you.
And welcome back to the A-Team Challenge. Before we get to the answers of our final exam, we want to introduce you to our alternate candidates here from both Gulf Coast High School and Cypress Lake. We'll begin here with the team to my right, Gulf Coast High School, whose alternate is Nick Lomas. Nick is a senior, hopes to attend the University of Florida, and plans to pursue a degree in metaphysics. Good luck to you. On my left, Cypress Lake High School has two alternates, so if you guys would raise your hand when I call your name. Not just yet. Alternate number one would be Tommy Danzy. Tommy's a senior, plans to attend the University of South Florida or the University of Florida, and hopes to pursue a degree in music performance. And finally, last but certainly not least, we have Alex Vasquez. Alex is a senior, hopes to attend Stetson University, and plans to pursue a degree in international studies. All right, very good. All right, let's get back here to the conclusion of our game, the final exam question. If we could, we'll bring up the questions what the students had to look at. The questions were, answer these about the process of amending the United States Constitution. Section A, this fraction of both houses of Congress must approve a proposed amendment. Section B, otherwise, 2/3 of the states may call for one of these meetings to propose amendments. And finally, Section C, this fraction of states must approve an amendment before it is officially added. Students, of course, to get full points on the final exam, you need to answer all three sections correctly. We'll begin with Cypress Lake High School. Cypress Lake went into at the end of round 3, had 100 points. They wagered 100 points, and with their answers, they got everything right. Of course, the correct answer to Section A was 2/3. Section B, a constitutional convention. And Section C, answer would be 3/4. That brings your final score to 200 points. Back to the team on my right, Gulf Coast High School. At the end of round 3, they had 260 points. They wagered 40 points and unfortunately missed Section B on the final exam, which takes their final score down to 220 points. They wagered just enough, though, and end up as tonight's victor here on the A-Team. So congratulations to the students of Gulf Coast High School. And fellas, if you would, jump up and exchange handshakes, and congratulations to Gulf Coast.